LAX is one of my favourite airports. As well as being a hub for the biggest 3 US airlines, there are always plenty of chances to see some more exotic carriers here too, which serve as a reminder that the world is reopening and there are places still to visit. I've just arrived on a connecting flight and I'm making my way to Terminal 2 for today's adventure. Yes, hello and welcome to Terminal 2 here at Los Angeles International Airport in California, USA. Do you remember the last time I flew Delta One? It just wasn't working. The entire surroundings were absolutely filthy and worn. I've never seen such ingrained filth like this anywhere on any airline, let alone in the US. It was an absolute disgrace and completely disgusting. The Wi-Fi just wasn't working at all on the flight. The meal was absolutely disgusting. Well, today I've got the privilege of flying Delta One again. I'm going to be checking out their premium transcontinental product. So strap yourselves in, it's Delta One, take 2. So we'll be flying from Los Angeles to New York, which means we won't be in normal recliner seat domestic first class. Flights with the major legacy airlines in the USA between New York and San Francisco and between Los Angeles and New York are classified as premium longer routes and attract their best aircraft, enhanced service and international business class standard seating. Delta use a mix of 767s on the Los Angeles to New York route, and today we're on the newest passenger version of the 767, the Boeing 767-400. Delta use Terminal 2 here at LAX, which is way too small and always far too busy. This new terminal seems to have been coming forever. Confusingly, there are 2 Delta Sky Club lounges here. That's because Delta took over this former Virgin clubhouse and used it as an overflow for their main Sky Club. Hey there, I'm good. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Yeah, not too bad.
There you go. You going to New York today?
All good, thank you. Oh my god, it is packed in here. It is a Saturday though. Busy, busy, busy. Busy it may be, but if you're lucky enough to find a window, there are some great views here. Actually, this Sky Club is not bad at all. I still prefer the United Club in Terminal 7, but this one does the job just fine and has a decent buffet selection of food, as well as a small full-service bar. So the staff at the lounge said that was just like any normal Saturday, although a few people have told me on social media this is actually the Saturday before Thanksgiving and you're expecting it to be quite busy, but I don't know who to trust, social media, the staff, I don't know. It was real busy, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Our aircraft today is a Boeing 767-400, a fairly rare aircraft type with only 37 built, and they're now in service only with United Airlines and Delta. Delta used this -400 for transcontinental flights like ours and for servicing some international routes such as New York to London. Today's aircraft is 21 years old and has been with Delta since delivery. Thank you. All right, Delta One in 2021. We're heading up to JFK. Let's see what it's like this time around.
Where are you sitting today?
1B.
1B? Lovely fun.
Thank you.
Hi. Where are you sitting?
8D around the other side.
8D, yeah.
Thank you. So here we are. This is the now refurbished Delta One on the 767-400. The aircraft is a little too narrow for the Delta One suites you'll see on their A350 aircraft, but this is just fine. This is a huge improvement in style and ambience over the old seating, which I flew last time. Seating is in a 1-2-1 configuration. Note that the seats are staggered, so there are no honeymoon seats right next to each other in the centre rows, and also that even numbered window seats are the ones which are truly by the window and with better privacy. My seat today is 8D towards the back of the cabin. Unfortunately, my seat was, well, maybe not broken, but very wobbly. This was really irritating when making even small movements in the seat, and it really shouldn't be like this. Meal orders were taken by the crew before pushback.
I have a beef meatball, a chicken piccata, or a vegetarian option for lunch.
Well, I'm confused because Delta offer pre-ordering of main courses in Delta One, which I definitely did.
Oh, I thought I pre-ordered something on the app.
I don't have anything, but I have all the choices.
That's the third time in a row pre-ordering hasn't worked for me, so I have no idea what's going wrong. Anyway, no harm done. It's off to New York. Today's flight covers 2,469 miles in just 4 hours and 45 minutes. Alright, let's take a look at the seat, which has some really lovely finishes. Delta have done a good job with the ambience, and the seat definitely feels very pleasant. Not a bad fit out for a 21-year-old aircraft. There are even individual air vents, which are becoming less common these days, although the table wasn't quite as sturdy as you'd hope. I still prefer United's Polaris seats though. Headphones are provided on a little hook like this in the seats. The noise cancelling in them is alright, not the best, not the worst, and the entertainment offer is hugely improved with an 18-inch HD screen. However, I'm not sure anyone on the aircraft has the space to follow this weird yoga tutorial. Sure, why not sit on the floor and follow along? Anyway, there's loads more content on the IFE, and for a 5-hour flight you'll definitely find a few things you'll like. Wi-Fi is available at $27.95 for the whole flight. It is not cheap, but it is pretty good, and connection was stable for the full duration. I don't know why I keep being astonished that I can watch football on a plane when we live in a time when you look out of the window and see these space-age solar farms down in the desert. And now for something that's not been seen for a long time because of COVID. It's glassware back in business class. Alright, so this is the salmon dish that I almost didn't get, and I've got to say, it looks absolutely delicious. Lunch was really tasty. Not too heavy because I'd chosen a cold fish based dish, and I have to say the salmon was as good as you would expect on the ground. Deciding what to eat on transcontinental flights is sort of tricky. I left at 3 p.m. but would land close to midnight in New York thanks to the time zone changes. Is the Delta 767-400 easy to sleep in? Well, the ambience is great, and there's even a privacy switch so the crew won't disturb you, but even though the seat rolls into a fully flat bed, it's kind of narrow. Delta does fly this aircraft on longer routes like New York, Atlanta, Detroit, and even Seattle to London, and I think I'd probably find this uncomfortable for a night flight that long. There's barely any time for a nap before the premium snack service prior to landing, which looks a bit weak. I mean, okay, it is nearly midnight, but this seems a bit stingy to me. We were treated to marvellous views of New York on our way into JFK, a great way to finish the day. So that's Delta One. Overall, not too much to complain about apart from a dodgy seat, which is just one of those things, I guess. I still think Delta One falls behind United Polaris, at least on their 777 and 787 aircraft, for crossing the United States. Nonetheless, if you manage to book for the absolute lowest fare like I did, it'll cost you about $590, and it's really not too bad. But do make sure you avoid the 767-300 aircraft, which also fly this route and have worse and less private unrefurbished seats. Always check when booking and look for the -400 variant for the seats shown in this video. I'm sorry Delta, this wasn't bad, but if I just need to get between New York and the West Coast in future, it'll probably be with United. Thanks for coming along with me, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye for now.